And I don't know who this is for today, but I need you to understand that as long as you are dressed up like America, as long as you are adapting to what's going on in America, as long as you are adhering to the things of America, you will miss what it is to be a part of the kingdom of heaven, and a part of what it is to be a king's kid. Because the king was sent for his kid. He sent for Hakeem. And it's funny because once the king came and sent for Hakeem, first of all, his authority showed up in every area that he went to. The king, Hakeem's father, showed up in every area, no matter what area he was in. They subjected themselves to his authority. And once he said, hey, I'm looking for my son Hakeem. Hakeem went from being looked at as someone who will be parking cars in the freaking wintertime to literally coming in the house and being able to put your foot up and now the person that you were serving is now being a servant to you. But it wasn't until Hakeem got back to his citizen kingdomship, back to being a citizen of the kingdom that he came from, where that which he wanted, that which he desired, found its way to him in the kingdom. As long as he was in America, he could not grab hold of Lisa. As long as he was operating on America's standards, as long as he was on the turf of America, as long as he was functioning in America, Lisa was not willing to go with him. It wasn't until he returned to the kingdom. Oh my God, who am I talking to today? It wasn't he returned to the kingdom, where the thing he desired showed up in his life. Y'all are waiting for God to wire things to you, to wire stuff to you, when God said, no, I'm showing up for you. Not only am I going to bring that which you lack, but bringing the whole kingdom to you. You guys so caught up what's going on with the government that you're missing the government that's over that government. When you're a king's kid, there's a different type of government body that's over your life. And it wasn't until Simeon, the one that was looking the most foolish in the movie, he had enough sense when they were in a space of lack that he reached out to where the king was at. So some of you guys that's operating, especially with this, to come to America. A lot of you guys are coming to America. A lot of you guys are functioning like America. And again, the Bible says that we are in the world, but we're not of the world. You guys as believers should not even be affected by what's going on in America. The reason why you're being affected is because you're not adhering, you're not calling on the king. You're not reaching out to the king. You're trying to adapt to what the government's trying to say for you to be, and trying to adapt to what's going on in your life because of the government's over trying to put things on you in this thing. Well, of course, it's never ending for you. Of course, the same thing over and over and over again. But it doesn't have to be. You are the king's kid. I don't care what part of America you are at. If you're the king's kid, the king ought to show up right where you are. It's a different type of government that's on the scene right now. And I ain't saying that y'all don't need to be voting. So please go vote. I ain't saying you not need to be functioning in America. Please function. But at the end of the day, after all your functioning, just like Hakeem, he did all his functioning in America. He did all his functioning in New York. He adapted to New York. He did all he could in his power in New York. But it wasn't until he went back to the kingdom that which he went to New York to go get found him back in the kingdom. I don't know what this is for today, but you're coming to America, yes. You're in America, yes. You're functioning in America, yes. But you got to remind yourself that you are the king's kid. And if you are the king's kid, you need to grab hold to the king so the king can show up in any area you are lacking in your life. There should be no area of lack in your life when you invite the king. When the king shows up, that which was vacant, that which was dormant, that which was lacking is now being in a place of promise, in a place of abundance, in a place where your answer is then showing up. Hakeem was a part of a kingdom the way we are a part of a kingdom of heaven, a part of the kingdom of heaven. Where there should be no area in our lives where we should be lacking. But you're only lacking because you forgot the kingdom that you came from. It's time to, even though you're in America, even though you're coming to America, we as heavenly beings had came to the world, had came to our place of America. But we should be inviting the kingdom of heaven with us. Because we're not of this world, y'all. We are the king's kid. And it's him that gives us our riches. Our riches are in him. What we need is in him. People are in heaven walking around working and toiling all day. Your toil ought to count for something, because you are part of a kingdom that is not subjected to this world. So I don't know who this is for today, but you, my friend, are a king's kid. And this ain't for people who ain't down with the king. You cannot get this not being down with the king. But if you're down with the king, it don't matter what divine rule is over you. It don't matter what decree is over you. It's not even divine rule. Whatever, no matter what earthly rule is over you, there's a divine rule that's over that. And you need to understand that as long as you acknowledge yourself as being the king's kid and call on the king and ask the king for help, not only is he showing up for that which you need, that in the area of your lack, but he's coming bringing the whole kingdom. I don't know what this is for today, but this is America. But you are the king's kid. God bless you. Have a great, great day.